Check is it live now? Refresh.
You're saying something.
Sorry. Okay. I think it's live now.
You don't know who you are.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Good evening, everyone. Please, can you all hear me? Okay, good evening, everyone, once again. So while we wait for our first speaker to join us, so let's just give like the next 5 minutes. We'll be starting soon. We're waiting for the first speaker to join us. My name is Mr. Dan, or you could call me Dr. Dan, and I'm the CEO of NSky, and I'm really happy to be hosting you guys on this conference. So while we wait for the others to join, I hope you have your pens and papers ready, because this night is going to be a truly amazing one. Please, if at any point you're not hearing me, please just let me know. And also, please, while we wait for the speakers to join us, I would love us to introduce ourselves. Just introduce yourself in the comment section. Let us know where you're joining us from, and let us know how you heard about the conference, if possible. Okay, welcome, Mr. Samuel Sule. How are you doing? Okay, Samuel Sule is joining from Abuja. Oluwatobi Lawansin is joining from Benin, and saw the link on the Edu Vendors group. That's nice. Okay, so we're waiting for more people to join us. And I hope I'm being heard clearly. Okay, Chuku Frederick is joining from Port Harcourt. Okay, so I'm seeing other people on the call, but then only 3 people have introduced themselves so far. So, okay, Mr. Chuku, how did you hear about the conference? Mr. Chuku, are you with us? I'm seeing Oluwatobi, welcome. Medic Ayofe, welcome. Samosule. Okay, so while we wait for more speakers to join us, once again, before I would love to talk about the host of this the host of the conference, or the direct sponsor of the conference, which is NSky Incorporated. Now, NSky Incorporated is an edtech company that is building a software that connects young people, entry-level professionals, entrepreneurs, and freelancers to any in-demand skill set they can ever think of, like building them professionally to an extent that they would actually. Okay, Elijah Johnson, welcome. So as I said, Sky Incorporated is actually a tech company based here in Abuja that is building a software that connects young people, entry-level professionals, students, graduates, entrepreneurs, freelancers, like any kind of person to in-demand skill sets. So with the NSky platform, you'll be able to learn anything you want to learn, any skill sets from any industry, business, marketing, tech, for those that want to go into tech, anything at all, you'll be able to learn entertainment, filmmaking, anything, you'll be able to learn it on the NSky platform. And beyond just being able to learn on the NSky platform, you'll be able to build your career. That's if you've already started it, you'll be able to build your career, gain more in-depth knowledge, mentorship, and the rest from the platform. Favor, I'm seeing you. Welcome very much to the conference. Elijah Johnson from Jos Plateau State. Wow, we're having a lot of people here from different parts of Nigeria. Ikunye Prayer from Benin City. Welcome. It's really nice to have you guys all around. So. Okay, so we'll be having the first speaker now. By the way, sorry, as we wait for the first speaker that is joining us in the next few minutes, can someone tell us about their expectations from this conference? Like, what do you hope to gain? Like, I know there's a lot of sacrifice for a lot of you, taking out your time, taking out your resources, taking out your data, your hard-earned data, to actually join us on this section this night. So, like, let me know about your expectations so that by the end of this conference, we'll be able to be sure that we have actually reached out, or like reached your expectations, reached the targets, because that's the goal at the end of the day. We are not just here to organize a conference that you come and then it will end up being like, well, another conference that you probably just attended. The goal of this conference is to actually help you become the best person that you can ever be. So to help you fulfill your dreams, to help you fulfill, like help you start that journey you ever wanted, you always wanted to start. So please, I'd love to know your expectations in the comment section. So Amy, welcome. Amy's joining us from Port Harcourt. It's really nice to have you here. So do you have any expectations for the conference? Do you have any favor, Ikunye? Any expectations? Okay, so we have our first speaker with us here. Welcome, Mr. Kenny. How are you doing, sir? Are you with us? Can you hear me clearly?
Okay. Yeah, I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, so we can hear you clearly. So, first of all, I really want to thank you for joining us tonight on this section, and we have been highly expectant of you. You've done so much in the areas of affiliate marketing as a whole, business, and actually impacting a lot of young people. I don't just want to read a bio because I've heard so much about your work and beyond now, like we have for most of the people on this conference, I've heard so much about your work. So I really want to use this moment, like I believe I'm speaking for most of the listeners on this call. I really want to use this moment to really, should I say, appreciate you for all you're doing for young people around Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. And we're truly inspired by it. So I'll be leaving the floor to you right now to give us everything that you have for us. Like I believe by the end of your section, a lot of people in terms of mindsets and beyond would get a better perspective in terms of mindset as a whole. So thank you very much, sir, and the floor is all yours.
Okay, so since our host decided not to introduce me, let me introduce myself. My name is Kenny, and I just want to check if everybody can hear me clearly. So please let me know in the comments. Can you hear me? Type audio if you can hear me loud and clear. Type audio in the chats or in the comments. Type audio or type clear. I just want to be sure that everybody can hear me loud and clear. All right. I still can't see any comments, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume that everybody is all on the same page as far as audio is concerned. So my name is Kenny, and I have been an online entrepreneur for a while, since 4 years to be more precise. And I got into the online business space in 2019 under very interesting circumstances. I started doing 4 businesses at the same time, and it took me about 11 months to make my first $24 as an online solopreneur. As a solopreneur, I was doing affiliate marketing, and I was trying to make ends meet. And to be honest, when I started affiliate marketing, I started for the wrong reasons. I was actually trying to cash out. I got into affiliate marketing because I was trying to cash out. And not too long after I started chasing shortcuts, right? The thing about one thing I realized about, online businesses and succeeding with online businesses is if you're starting for the wrong reason and you're starting from a place where your why is not deep enough, you are only going to end up struggling. You're only going to end up in a place where You'll be jumping from pillar to post. You'll be switching from strategy to strategy. People are going to be selling you all kinds of tactics. And it's going to be easy because, well, you're looking for shortcuts. So it will be easy for them to tell you those things. And that was me. And it's very ironic, the fact that I was chasing shortcuts for 11 months. But eventually I realized that there is only one shortcut. And I'll tell you what the shortcut is. Don't worry. Before I finish, I'll tell you what the shortcut is. Now, after I realized that I was going nowhere fast, I had to take a step back and everything, I had to put everything I was doing on the table and really ask myself, what exactly is it that I'm not getting right here? What exactly is it? I can hear myself. I don't know if it's because your own mic is still unmuted, Dan. Okay, perfect. Fantastic. All right, so what was I even saying? I just lost my train of thoughts. So yeah, anyways, I had to put everything on the table. I just remember what I was saying. So I had to put everything on the table and really ask myself which of these vehicles can get me to financial freedom within the shortest possible time. And I also, at the same time, I realized that part of the reason why I was not getting the results I wanted was because I had some internal factors that needed to be addressed. Many of us were not born with a silver spoon. How many of you here was born with a silver spoon? How many of us was not born with a silver spoon? If you were not born with a silver spoon, type no silver spoon in the comment section. I know many of us will type no silver spoon. I too wasn't born with a silver spoon. And because of that, several programmings and several mindsets were built into my consciousness growing up. For example, I used to think that people cannot afford to buy what I'm selling. And so I would carry that energy into sales conversations. I would get into conversations with my prospects with that same energy. And because of that expectation, because of that mindset, people would always tell me no. And sometimes you would now begin to think that it's because of village people, but there's no village people involved. When it comes to that, it's simply because I was thinking that people cannot buy what I'm selling because they can't afford it. I was thinking that the economy is bad. I was still living in Nigeria. Now I live in Dubai. So I was thinking that people cannot afford to buy what I'm selling because the economy is bad. I was thinking that the people who were successful in my niche, and this was a very common thing, by the way. So there were a couple of people who were successful in my niche, who were doing really well, who were getting results. So I used to think that those people who were getting results in my niche were getting their results because they had one kind of advantage that I did not have. So what happened was that when I started affiliate marketing, I went into like communities. So I joined a couple of communities. And when I joined those communities, I would see people coming to the community groups and they will be sharing screenshots and be sharing big money, sharing big screenshots and showing us about all the money that they are making, and all of that. And it's very easy for that to oppress, to make you feel like you're oppressed, makes you feel like you are not doing enough. It can also make you feel like you are inadequate, can make you feel like you should just share grace on the matter. So, but when those things happened, I would look at those people who were getting results and I would tell them that, I would say to myself, not necessarily telling them, but I would say to myself that the reason why these people are getting results is because they have some kind of advantage over me. Sometimes I would say the reason why they are getting results is because they are lucky. Sometimes I would say the reason why they are getting results is because they started before me, or because they have followers, or because I kept trying to downplay the authenticity of those people's results. I was always trying to downplay the authenticity of their results. I was always trying to make it look small. I was always trying to do that because I was projecting my insecurities about that result. And so it kept me stuck. It kept me held down. Instead of me to be moving forward, I was staying in one spot until I realized that you cannot attract something that you attack. So instead of you trying to tear people's successes down, attack successful people, one thing I realized is that hate never comes from above, it always comes from below. And when you're trying to downplay someone's success, or when you're trying to downplay the authenticity of someone's success, it comes from below. It means you're saying that the reason why you have not gotten your result is because that person is better than you. In other words, you cannot get better yourself. So if you think about it, you see that that's actually the reason why many of us get stuck and grounded in one position. Now, after I considered all these things that I'm telling you about, I realized that I had the scarcity mindset. By the way, the definition of all these things that I was just telling you guys about, the thing that the time when I was thinking that people cannot afford to buy what I'm selling, the time when I was thinking that people who are successful have some kind of special advantage, all that was just manifestation of the scarcity mindset. When you have the scarcity mindset, you only see what is lacking. You only see what you don't have. You only magnify lack. When you have the scarcity mindset, you will tell yourself that people cannot afford to buy what you are selling. That's why you cannot put a price that you cannot price what you are worth, because people cannot afford to buy what you are selling. Whereas in the same world, there are people who are charging $1,000, $10,000 for that same thing that you are offering, that same service that you are offering. Same thing, different mindset. So when I realized this, I decided that there was no way I was going to continue manifesting scarcity in my business. I was not going to continue manifesting scarcity in my life. And so I went into a deep research, and I realized and I found out that the opposite of scarcity is abundance. And there are people in this world who, when men are saying there's a casting down, they are saying there's a lifting up. There are people in this world who, even in the highest of the highest inflations, they are still living life on a higher life. You know, even when everybody is complaining that there's no customer, that fuel price is high, and all of that, the complaints incessant. You never hear these people complaining. These people are thriving when everybody else is surviving. How are they able to do it? That was the question I asked myself. How are they able to do it? Simply because they understand the abundance mindset, and every day in their life, they are applying things, they are manifesting the abundance mindset. I'm going to quickly give you guys an example of what I'm saying. I wish I had a remote control. Okay, let me just use this one. Let me just use this one for the illustration purpose. So this is a small remote anyways. Now, imagine this was a TV remote. I want to explain it this way so that you can understand what I'm saying, right? Every single day in your life, you need to be manifesting more abundance in order for you to see abundance. If you want to see abundance in health, in wealth, in your relationships, you have to be doing things that increase abundance in your life. And what I'm talking about right now is actually things that there are a lot of people who are deliberately doing these things, not by mistake. Some of us, you do something by mistake, you're not really aware, but you do something by mistake and it triggers something to create abundance in your life, and you call it luck. That's what we usually call luck, But in reality, let me explain it for you. And if you think that it's still luck, then, well, Oyo is your case. So think about this as a remote. And if you point this remote at the TV and you press Netflix, let's say the Netflix button was on this remote. If you press Netflix, what's going to happen? You're going to see Netflix is going to open in front of you. And when Netflix is in front of you, you see movies, you see series, you see documentaries. All those things are what is attainable when Netflix is showing in front of you. The same way, if you tune to Amazon Prime, when you tune to Amazon Prime platform is going to come up. And then you will begin to see another list of movies. It's a different list of movies this time around. If you tune to, maybe say DSTV, and you're tuning to maybe the channel for Super Sports, what's going to happen? What happens at that frequency? What happens at that frequency is sports. Sports, nothing more. You won't see movies. You won't see people who are doing what's it called? What will I call it now? You won't see people who are doing anything other than sports. All you will see is sports, because that is what is attainable at that frequency. So it's the same way using the remote that tunes to abundance. And I will tell you what the remote is. Using the remote that tunes to abundance, you'll be able to increase abundance in your life, abundance in health, abundance in wealth, abundance in your relationships. And how do you tune to the abundance frequency? You tune to the abundance frequency based on the energies that you are manifesting part time. Every moment in our lives, we are manifesting one energy or the other. We are manifesting contractive energies, or we are manifesting expansive, not contractive. We're manifesting expansive energies. I'm trying to cover everything I can in as little time, in the little time that we have to spend. You guys can always catch the replay in case I'm going too fast. So, at every point in our lives, we are manifesting one of those two energies. It's either you're manifesting contractive energies, and contractive energies increase lack in your life. They increase lack in your relationships, they increase lack in your finances, they increase lack in your health. You'll be falling sick a lot. I know people who are on the limiting side of this, who fall sick almost every now and then, and they don't have any health deficiencies. They don't have any blood related issues. They don't have any genetic malfunction. I'm telling you, contractive energies will increase more lack in your life. Contractive energies will make it look as if everything you do, walking like an elephant, eating like an ant. And I'll give you some examples. An example of contractive energy is fear. Whenever you manifest fear, what happens? In fact, when I even mention the word fear, what comes to mind? How do you feel? When I mention the word fear, how do you feel? Does it make you feel good? Of course, it doesn't make you feel good. Fear is a contractive energy. Guilt is a contractive energy as well. Shame is a contractive energy. Shame, hatred. Excuse me. Hatred is a contractive energy. Right? By the time you think about all this in low self-esteem, these are all contractive energies. If you carry any of those energies into a conversation, right, you can only increase lack. You will not increase abundance. You will only increase lack. If you think you can take such energies around, and I want you guys to even think about this thing. Whenever anybody comes in your environment and they're just communicating about how they are scared of something, and they're just communicating about something, they are communicating in a way that is like they are shy, or they are scared, or they have low self-esteem. You can feel that energy. When you feel the energy, how does it make you feel? Does it make you want to work with them? If it's somebody that's trying to sell to you, does it make you want to work with them? Does it make you want to become friends with them? You would try your best to avoid such people, because those kind of energies are not attractive. Those kind of energies make you feel like you want to just leave the room. That's exactly what happens every time you are manifesting any of them. When you're manifesting fear, when you're manifesting shame, when you're manifesting low self-esteem, or hatred, or resentment, right? So what should you be doing? What you should do instead is, you need to be manifesting more of expansive, not contractive energies, where expansive energies push you towards abundance. My video seems okay. I'm back. If you guys can still hear me, type following in the comments. All right. The comment section has been quiet for a while. If you can still hear me, type following in the comment section. Now, moving on to expansive energies, how do you begin to manifest and see more abundance in your life? It is not as difficult as you might think. It all comes down to how much expansive energies you are manifesting every single day. How much of expansive energies you are manifesting per day. Gratitude is one of the most powerful expansive energies. Why? Because it is a multiplier. Gratitude is a powerful multiplier. It's an expansive energy and increases abundance everywhere, in health, in wealth, in your relationships. Whenever you express gratitude to someone you're friends with, does it make them want to do more for you or not? Of course it does. It's a multiplier. It increases abundance. Love is also a very powerful expansive energy. Love is a powerful expansive energy as well. Showing love and kindness to people, it only increases abundance. It increases abundance in your relationships. It increases abundance in wealth. Empathy also increases abundance in relationships. Your ability to make people see or rather your ability to put yourself in someone's shoes to see what they see and feel what they feel. The greatest need of human beings is to be understood. And if you can apply empathy every day, you will be able to understand how people feel. You'll be able to see how people feel. You'll be able to see from two sides of the coin. You'll be able to see from a whole different perspective. You'll be able to see below the surface, where everybody else is seeing above. Everybody is seeing surface level expectations all day long. Now, aside from love, gratitude, kindness, aside from those energies, even empathy, joy is also a very powerful, expansive energy. Think about it. Whenever you feel joy, what happens? What happens? It's infectious, is it not? Both expansive and contractive energies, they are all infectious. But expansive are more infectious than contractive. And that's why when you see a video on your social media and you see people are just smiling and laughing and dancing, what happens? That energy is so transferable. Energy is transferable. That's why if you are not intentional about the kind of energies that you are manifesting per minute, per second, and you get into conversations and you are manifesting some kind of limiting or negative or a contractive energy, you're only going to transfer that over to the person you're having a conversation with, whether it's a prospect or a client or it's a lead, whoever it is, or even a friend. There's this girl I used to have as a friend who, whenever she comes around, I always try to avoid. I always try to just make sure I get out of the room, because when she comes in, there is this big choking cloud of negative tension that comes into the room with her, because she doesn't see anything good in life, like nothing good as far as she's concerned. Nothing good comes easy. Not everything good must be hard, or rather everything good, before you can get it, you must walk your ass off, or you must do some kind of things, and men will try to exploit you, men hate you, and all of that. So many limiting beliefs in one human being. It was so toxic. Imagine me with my high realm of possibility and positivity. Imagine me with my high realm of positivity. I couldn't keep that girl. I couldn't help that girl to move beyond her limiting beliefs. Some people are so far down the negative route that it's only prayer that you can use to help them. I pray that your own is not like that. I pray your own is like my own, that just by becoming aware, which you are becoming aware now too, just by becoming aware, I became sensitive. And by becoming sensitive, whenever I get into like a conversation, or I get into a situation where I would normally have experienced or expressed some kind of contractive energy, in that moment, I was now sensitive. And so I could switch up and do the right thing instead. And I was getting better results. I was getting better outcomes as a result of that. That same business that made me $24 in 11 months. Just to give you some context, in case you think all these things I'm saying is shenanigans and rubbish. Just to give you some context, that same business that made me $24 in 11 months, after all these things I'm telling you about, after I figured things out and I was able to move beyond the limiting beliefs I had, especially about scarcity, and I started manifesting more abundance in my business, in my life, what happened was my business took off. In fact, my business made $500,000 in naira, $500,000 in naira in July of 2020. So that was after 11 months of struggle. My business made $500,000, my first $500,000 in naira. And then about 3 months down the line, I crossed my first 7 figures. So by the time I crossed 7 figures, it was just like, at that point, I had already found what works. It was easier. You know, it gets easier for you. The first million is the hardest, like they say, right? So it took me about 4 months-ish to make the first million. And then 35 days after that, I had crossed the second million. 33 days after that, I had crossed the third million. And after that, I just started counting weeks to the next million. Before you know, I started counting days to the next million. And now we're talking hours to the next million. That can only happen when you become intentional about the energies that you manifest per time. A business that made me $24 in 11 months. The same. I didn't switch. Same business became, in fact, in that same business, I grew in my lane, I expanded in my lane, and it became a $300,000 business that has helped me to move out of Nigeria. I'm now living in Dubai. So if you are thinking that all these things I'm saying is just mumbo jumbo and it doesn't work, that is completely up to you. It's not by force to believe. To be honest, it's really not by force. Whatever you say, or rather, whatever you believe, not whatever you say. Whatever you believe is true for you. Whatever you believe is true for you. You have to become very, very intentional. You have to become, no matter how old you are, even if you are young. I know a lot of young people who have moved beyond some of the most limiting beliefs. I know a lot of young people who have moved beyond a lot of limiting beliefs. Dan is still showing two speakers on the screen. Maybe you will want to remove one since your video is not showing. And then when it's time to do like two speakers, you can bring up the second one. So moving beyond that, the solution is very simple, right? If you want to experience more abundance in your life, it's as simple as one, you have now become aware. Awareness is the first step. The second step, can you guys still hear me? Oh, okay. I couldn't see myself for a second, but it seems we are back. So I said the first step is awareness. So you have to become aware. And once you have become aware, the next step is to become sensitive in the moment. So you have to become sensitive in the moment about times when you would normally have expressed or manifested those contractive, energies, right? I hope you guys are following. Now, once you find yourself in that situation, I hope we have become aware, by the way. Once you find yourself in that situation, in that moment, you will say no. In that moment, you will choose the alternative. In that moment, instead of you to say, people cannot afford to buy what I'm selling, the world is full. Hey, this world has more than 7 billion people. More than 7 billion people on the planet, and you think you can't find 1,000 in that number who will pay you $100 each? In case you want to make $100,000. And if you want to make $1 million, find 1,000 who will pay $1,000. It's not as difficult as you might think. If somebody had told me that making $10,000 a month will be easy at some point in my life before I'm 35 years old, in fact, it even happened before I became 30, actually, I wouldn't have believed. I wouldn't have believed. But somehow it happened. All these things I'm telling you, they work. I didn't come here to do anything like motivation, kini. These are real principles. These are spiritual principles, and they work time and time again. They work. If and only if you will apply it. You know, one thing that is very interesting. Whenever you meet a successful person for advice, and let me know if you have ever experienced this before. Whenever you meet a successful person for advice and you tell them, what are the keys to success? They will usually tell you something that is disappointing. And it will feel disappointing because what they tell you is going to be very simple. It's going to be very easy to apply. But because we are wired to chase complexity. We are wired to chase strategy. We are wired in a certain way to always try to complicate things for ourselves. You will feel disappointed. But it takes someone who has seen some level of success to know that it's the simple things. These things I'm talking about, it's the simple things. If you are able to start manifesting more abundance in your life, what you're going to see is an increase. You will see an increase in every area of your life, right? You will experience more abundance in health, in wealth, in your relationships, and you will become in control of that invisible force of favor that makes men to remember you for good. That invisible force of favor that makes men to say yes to you. The invisible force of favor that makes men to do good things for you. It's not luck. It's not luck. Anyways, so that's the first mindset I was able to move beyond. So I was experiencing a lot of scarcity in my business, in my life in general, my relationships. And I was able to move beyond that because I got the understanding of how abundance works. And I started experiencing more abundance in my life since then. And the second mindset I used to have was fixed mindsets. I used to have a couple of fixed mindsets. For example, whenever I was in a conversation with people, right? Fixed mindsets are like the justification that we give to people for why we are where we are. People use fixed mindset to justify why they are where they are. They use fixed mindsets to justify the reason why they are in a certain circumstance. They use fixed mindsets to justify why they don't have results. They use fixed mindsets to explain why they act the way they do. Whenever people talk to me that year when I wasn't making sales, whenever people talk to me, I'll tell them that I don't know how to sell because I'm an introvert. I don't know how to talk to people because I'm an introvert. I was always the guy who would tell you that. I will always tell you that. I don't know. No. Me, I don't know how to sell. And I don't know how to sell because I'm an introvert. You can't catch me dead talking to a stranger back then. If I tell you that I'm a follow-come introvert, you won't believe. But I am. I'm a follow-come introvert. But in reality, being an introvert and always using my introvertedness as an excuse to justify my inaction, to justify my lack of results, to justify my circumstance was keeping me grounded in one spot, was keeping me in one position. Whenever somebody asks you, or whenever you're in a conversation with somebody and you tell them that the reason why you don't have result is because you are a certain way, you, my friend, have a fixed mindset. Whenever you tell somebody that the reason why you have not taken action is because you don't have something, or because you are not someone or one type of person, because you don't have followers, because you don't have phone, because you don't have laptop, because you don't have something, it is both a manifestation of scarcity and fixed mindset at the same time. There was a lady who I had this conversation with over a year plus ago, and I asked the lady, I said, when you came out of your mother's womb, because the lady was talking about how, well, she doesn't know how to do social media. She's not really the social media type. She's not a social media person. That's what she said. He said she's not the social media type. And I smiled and I asked her, I said, when you came out of your mother's womb, did they carry what's it called? Like a label. Did they carry a label and put on your forehead and say, this one is not social media type? The next person came and said, no, this one is social media type. Is that how they labeled people? Did they label people like that? Did people come out of the womb like that? This one is social media type. This one is not social media type. This one is introvert. This one is extrovert. This one is all the vats. All the vats. The answer is no. At some point in our lives, we decided that we needed an explanation for why we don't have results, or why we are acting the way we are acting, or why we are in a certain circumstance. And that's how fixed mindsets begin to grow within us. Fixed mindsets begin to grow within us. You're using fixed mindset to justify why you are where you are, why you have not gotten result, why you are not taking action, why you are stuck. And in reality, fixed mindsets puts a stop sign in front of what is possible for you. You can never grow beyond what you think is possible for you. If you think you are an introvert, okay, then you are. Whereas the world is full of introverts who are crushing it in a world of extroverts. If I come here and tell you now that I'm an extrovert, you will still not, you won't believe me. But I am. I am. What you need is a growth mindset. What you need is to adopt and start practicing every day a growth mindset. People who have growth mindset, they ask the right questions. They say, what can I do? Instead of them to say, I can't do it, they say, what can I do? It's two questions, but different outcomes. It's two different questions, but different outcomes. One says, I can't do it because the other one says, what can I do? The other one says, what can I do? And the one who says, what can I do, immediately carries a pen and puts it on paper. Ideas begin to flow. Because he has says, what can I do? Because he has said, what can I do? Doors begin to open. Ideas begin to open. Ideas begin to flow. And he's taking them down. He's writing them down. When he writes them down to an extent, before you know, strategies will start coming out. And you can turn that idea into a strategy. Turn your strategy into steps, action steps. Turn those steps into results. Whereas somebody is still somewhere saying, I can't do it because I'm thinking about doing, I've been thinking of. Some of us, instead of saying, I can't do it, we would rather say, I've been thinking of. Because it's easier for you to stay on the fence. It's easier for you to say, maybe. It's easier to say, I am still thinking about it. I'm still thinking of doing it. But you know in your heart of heart, you're not going to do it because you think you can't. Some of us think we can't do something. And instead of us take a decision about it, we would rather just say, I'm thinking about it. And so you've been thinking of for over 1 week, for over 1 month, for over 6 months, you've been thinking of. I don't know what the thing you have been thinking of is, but you've been thinking of doing that thing. While there are some people who came across the same thing you came across, the same information. That's why I keep saying that information is no longer the problem in today's society. Information is no longer the problem. People have access to the information now. Information is no longer the problem. Knowledge is no longer power. Knowledge is only potential power. It is what you do with the knowledge that eventually gives you the power to get results. And so what you need is to adopt a growth mindset in your business. Start asking the right questions. What can I do? What can I change? Who do I need to become? Right? What do I need to change? Who do I need to become? If I ask everyone here now, do you want to become a millionaire in the next 2-3 months? Everybody will shout, yeah, million. Some will even start typing billion. Some of you start typing billion. But in reality, if you want that result, if you want that outcome, you have to become the person who makes $1 million. That's just the truth. You don't see, there are people who will give you tactics and strategies. Hey, if you come and meet me, I can give you some. I will give you copy and paste strategy that has made me thousands of dollars. I will give it to you. But go and use it. You see the way I'm shaking my head? Go and use it. And see how much results you will get. The people who focus on who they are becoming, they're the ones who win. Over the ones who focus on the outcome, who focus on, I want to make sales. I want to drive traffic. I want to make sales. I want to drive traffic. I want to make sales. I want to get followers. I want to. Because if you focus on your mind, in your growth in mind, knowledge, and skill, if your focus is on growth in mind, knowledge, and skill, everything that everybody else is chasing in your niche will be gravitating towards you. I don't pursue sales. I don't pursue traffic. I don't pursue leads. I don't pursue money. Develop that growth mindset and start asking the right questions. What do I need to do? What do I need to change? Who do I need to become? What do I need to pay? That's the ultimate test of commitment. You are not committed until you are ready to pay with your time, with your energy, with your resources, your financial resources. You are not committed until you are ready to pay. If you keep going around the whole internet looking for what you're going to get for free, okay. Good luck making $1,000 a month. Good luck getting to $10,000 a month. Even if that free mindset will get you to 1K, try using it to get to 10K. There are certain levels that will continue to be abstract to you until you begin to shift from I want it at no cost. I want it at no cost. Let it not cost me time. Let it not cost me energy. Let it not cost me money. Why does it have to be easy? The word is not easy is one of the most used phrases in business today. And you find it among small business owners the most. It's small business owners and solopreneurs that use those three words the most. It's not easy. Is it supposed to be easy? If it was easy, everybody would have been making millions every single minute. Why does it have to be easy? Why does it have to be fast? Why does it have to be free? It's not supposed to be free. You have to shift beyond that mindset and you have to begin to open your mind and expand your idea of what is possible for you. Expand your idea of what is possible for you. There is no greater investment than the one you make in yourself. Why? Because you can lose your whole net worth. You can lose all your followers. You can lose your fancy mic, this microphone. Look, you can lose your accommodation where you are living. You can lose your residency in any country you are living in. But you can never lose who you became because you invested in yourself. If you buy real estate, government can come and break it down. Bah, they will destroy the land. They can destroy the building, even if the land will still be there. But it's money they used to build the building, right? But who can destroy who you have become? That's why if you become the person who makes $10,000 a month, you can't lose that identity. Even if you lose the entire money, you lose the whole followers, you lose everything. I currently have like 160,000 followers on social media. It's not fancy to me because it's just a milestone. If I lose all those followers today, as far as I'm concerned, I can get it all back again. Give me 6 months. 6 months is even too much. It's not my students that are using 2 months to get 100,000 followers on TikTok. What are we saying? And it's me that's cutting soap for them. So why do I need 6 months to even get another extra 100,000 followers? It's about who you have become. It's about who you are becoming. There was a lady who traveled all the way from Ibadan. I had an event last year in Nigeria. A lady traveled all the way from Ibadan to come and ask me this question. She said, I've been following you online and I've been seeing everything you have been doing. I've been trying everything. Everything I try, nothing seems to work. I just wanted to see you face to face and ask you, how una they do am? When she said it, I laughed. I actually created a shorter version of that video and posted it. The video went viral. So my response to the lady was that after I laughed and I now responded to her and I told her welcome from Ibadan and everything, that it's not a question of what are they doing. It's a question of who are they becoming and who did they become? Because you cannot chase a new level with an old you. You cannot chase a new level with an old version of yourself. That's why I said it's about who you are becoming. And once you become that person, you have become that person. You don't go back. They don't use to reverse the operating system. You have already upgraded. You have upgraded. Forget it. That's why when you get into conversation with high performers, when you get into conversations with high flyers, see, there are even some people who I will get into conversations with and I will feel intimidated. I'm telling you, because there's a level to which you grow and you begin your thinking, your capacity to think and your conversation style and the quality of conversations you will be having will be so advanced that they will be flying over people's head. How many of us have heard Alex Homozi talk before? When you hear Alex Homozi talking, how do you feel? Don't you most times feel like what he's saying is flying over your head? That is what happens when you have invested in yourself to an extent where, hope you guys understand this thing. You have invested in yourself to an extent where you have advanced. You have advanced. You can't go back. There's no going back. All these things that people are chasing, the money, the traffic, the higher network individuals. Some of us will go to influencers DMs and you're sending you're sending a DM to influencer. You say you want to connect with them. You just want to know them on a deeper level. Is that how they used to do it? Are you toasting the influencer? Oh God. Once upon a time, not too long ago, a couple of years back, I was charging 2,000, 3,000 naira for graphics design I was doing for people. And Naomi, I'm sure Naomi is going to attest to this when she comes. There was a time when I did a 3,000 naira job for Naomi as a graphics designer. That was how we met. A year later, the same Naomi came and asked me to come and be a facilitator in one of her trainings. Same guy, different version. I hope you guys are following. Wealth is attracted to versions of who you are intentionally becoming through your growth in mind, knowledge, and skill. If that is the only thing you take out of what I have said so far and you run with it, you are fine and you will make it. Wealth is naturally attracted to versions of who you are becoming through your intentional growth in mind, knowledge, and skill. Let's add relationship as Jara, because relationship comes with it. With the growth comes relationships. It will attract you the right people that I used to look up to in my niche before, people like Niger Branchik, people like Trisha Bees, Steve Harris, and all of them. I never expected that I would know them in this lifetime self, let alone have them one DM away. I have most of the people I just mentioned, I have them speaking at our event this week, this end of the month. We're inviting all of them. They're coming to speak at our event, and they will gladly come. And they won't charge for it. You know how much those people charge normally? It takes someone with a relationship. If I send Mama Nelly, if I want to invite Mama Nelly to come and do something, it's a voice note I will send. I'm just using that as an example to show you how powerful becoming is for someone. Focus on who you are becoming through your growth in mind, knowledge, and skill. See, I'm done. At this point, I have nothing else to tell you. We can start taking questions. I have nothing else to tell you. I have nothing else, to be honest. Everything you need has been said. Do you guys have questions for me? Because I'm checking the time now and I see that time is fast spent. So let's use the remaining time to take questions. Do we have questions? And where's the host? Okay. Check in the comment section if you guys are dropping some questions. Okay. So I see one question in the comments. You currently study in a foreign country and it's not as easy as a student to make money. How do you go about it? There are different variables that can, there are different variables that could determine if you will make money as a student or not. First of all, it depends on the country you are. Some countries allow students to work for 40 hours a week. Did I say 40 hours a week? I think that's correct. I think that's correct. Yeah, I think some countries allow students to work for 40 hours a week. So you have to do your research first and foremost, right? Do your research, and while doing your research, find opportunities that you can take advantage of online, because online there is still so much money to make online. Oh my god. It doesn't matter whether you choose to start with affiliate marketing or you start with drop shipping. But drop shipping is more time consuming. But if you were to ask me which one you should start with, I'd definitely say you should look into affiliate marketing. Because my first $100,000 online, I made it with affiliate marketing. I've also helped a lot of people make a lot of money with affiliate marketing as well. My membership for affiliate marketers, Zero to Hero affiliates, we have about 13,000 members. And out of those 13,000 members, cumulatively, the amount of sales that has been generated is more than $2.5 million in sales in 2 years. So it's still a very robust industry. There's still so much money to be made. It's not too late to get in. You're into online business and it's really hard. What kind of mindset should you cultivate to become better at online business? I literally just answer, unless you just came late. I will assume that you came late. That's why you're asking the question. But if you came late, you can always catch the replay. Even if you didn't come late, you should definitely still catch the replay. So you should go listen to this event again. I'm sure they will provide access to the replay of the event. Do we have any other questions?
Hello, good evening once again, everyone. Sorry, can you all hear me? Please, if you can hear me, please just drop a comment in the comment section. If you can hear me, please just drop a comment on the comment section. Okay, there's so much I would love to say. There's so much I'd love to say about Kenny's section. Like, to be honest, like beyond the fact that okay, we have all grown through moving from the fixed mindset, moving from the fixed mindset to okay, sorry, before I continue, like someone just asked the question. Mr. Kenny, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Someone just asked a question about how can they move, how do one overcome the fear of the unknown in a person's great process?
Fear of the unknown. So fear of the unknown usually comes from lack. It's is a manifestation of scarcity. When you know, one way to make things look simpler is to ask yourself, what does this mean? When you are experiencing something, or when you are expressing some kind of fear, you should just ask yourself as simple as, what does this mean? It will show you more about what you're doing, and it will also reveal to you what you're not seeing, right? So for example, fear of the unknown usually comes from a lack of enough confidence in the unknown itself. Here's what I mean. If you're about to venture into a new business, some people might say that is the unknown, correct? Many people fear getting into new businesses because the fact that they don't have enough information means they don't have enough confidence. And when confidence level is low and potential risk is high, they feel that the money they will spend getting into that business will go and they will not be able to recover it back. And because they feel that way, they would rather not do anything. They would rather just stay in one place than try themselves, like try and do something for themselves and get results. Fear of the unknown is a form of scarcity, is a manifestation of scarcity. It's like you are saying that the results that you are looking for, or the potential results that you could have, is not for everyone. It's like saying it's not for everyone. Whereas there are people who they come across the same information that you probably came across at some point, and then they took crazy action, and they are taking that action consistently, and they are getting results every single day. They are still scared, however, doesn't mean that they don't feel fear anymore, but they are doing the things in spite of the fear. That's bravery, in case you don't know. There's no absence of fear. Everybody still feels fear in one way or the other. Till today, whenever I'm going on stage, physical stages, even virtual stages sometimes, I still feel fear, anxiety sometimes. I host Twitter spaces every week, and I get thousands of people coming to listen to those spaces. Before I go on live, I'm still feeling fear. But I will do it despite the fear. Nobody can hear it behind my voice because I'm just there. I'm having fun. But I'm still doing it scared. Scared that something can go wrong. Scared that something might just go off. I recently attempted something on a Twitter space that has never been done before. Somebody who has fear of the unknown can never become a trailblazer, because you will always be doubting yourself. You always be doubting the possibility of that thing happening or going right. Because of that fear of the unknown, you rather not take action. You rather just stay put. Fear of the unknown is a huge limitation. It's a huge limitation. Now, fear of the unknown will no longer be a limitation to you if you decide that I will find out as much as I can, but be careful not to be in the process of finding out for too long, because all you need is just enough information to be sure if it's a decision you want to take in the next. That's if it's a yes you want to say, or if it's a no, right? You should only just seek out enough information to make a decision despite the fear. Because if you think about it, it can either go right or wrong, but you will not die. As far as it's not going to kill you, you are okay. If you have an abundance mindset, see, I'm telling you this thing, oh my God. Whenever you take action on something and it doesn't turn out the way you expect, you gain experience. Whenever you take action on something and it turns out even better than you expected, you will gain success. Either ways, it's a win-win. Whereas there are some people that if it doesn't turn out the way they expected, they're like, I failed. Oh, I'm such a failure. Why do I keep failing? Every time I fail, oh my God, my case is the worst. Perspective. The stories you tell yourself determines what you will focus on. And what you focus on is where your energy flows. And where your energy flows is where your action will also coincide. And that determines your results. Do you know that what we focus on creates a blind spot? Let me give you an example. How many of us have ever been walking on the street and you don't notice what brand of cars are driving by? But later that evening, you were having a conversation with your friend or someone else, or you even saw a commercial where you saw Lexus, or you saw, let's just say Lexus, or even Benz. You saw Benz in the commercial, in the adverts. As you saw the Benz, you say, see my favorite Benz, see my favorite Benz. The moment you get back on the road, you will start noticing all the Benz on the road. Why? Does it mean that the Benz were not there before? They were there. But what you focus on creates a blind spot. What you focus on creates a blind spot. If you're not focused on something, you won't see it. So, you who is having fear of the unknown is because of what you're focusing on. You're focusing on what is not there, what could not happen. That's what you're focusing on. So, that's what you see. And that's what's triggering the feeling of fear. Whereas me, we probably will get access to the same information and I will already be three miles ahead, because the first question I'll ask is, what can we do here? What can we do? What's the solution here? And I have my pen on paper. I put my pen on paper. We turn it into a strategy. We turn the strategy into task, take action, and start getting results. Boom. I've had situations where I was trying to raise, there was not too long ago, I was trying to raise 5 million for a project. 5 million naira. That was like $5,000 for a project. And the first thing I did was, what can I do? I took my pen. By the way, this guy, if I sell this tablet, I will probably sell it for $200,000 because all my biggest ideas are inside. All my biggest ideas for campaigns. And that was how WhatsApp Audience Growth Secrets was actually created. I got the idea, different ideas. And so I put it down on paper. I turned that into a 10-day strategy, a 10-day game plan, turned the 10-day game plan into like the actions that are going to be taken specifically. So I wrote the copy, wrote the advertorials, created the flyer and everything. Good to go. In less than 24 hours, I'm telling you, all this was done in less than 24, from idea to execution in less than 24 hours. Money loves speed. You that is busy doing fear of the unknown, you that is busy fearing all over the place. It's as simple as, I got this idea, I need to put pen on paper, turn it into an action plan, and start taking crazy action on it while people are busy thinking of doing it. I hope that answers the question, though.
Yes, it does. Okay, one final question as time has really gone. Someone just asked, okay, good evening, sir. How do you know when it's time to stop volunteering? I get money from graphic design, but most jobs I do is volunteer.
How do you know when it's time to stop volunteering? When people start asking how much you charge, that's when you know. When people start asking you how much you charge, that's the best way to know. Do you know that every time you volunteer, you are making something, even if it's not money? People usually measure what they get by how much they make. And that is a very myopic way of thinking. Because every time you give, there is a receiving, even if there is no money involved. I wish you guys understand this thing. Every time you give, there is a receiving. If you give value, you receive goodwill. If you give value, you receive goodwill, whether it's in money format or in trust format. Trust is also a currency. Whether you choose to like it or not, or believe it or not, trust is also a currency. And if you accumulate more and more of that trust by doing good for people, by giving to people, it will determine the magnitude to which you can receive. And that's why I believe that the magnitude to which you give determines the magnitude to which you can receive. So I hope I've answered that question.
Sorry, okay, Mr. Chidera, I hope that answers your question. I think there are so many more questions, but then time is really already not on our side.
I'll answer
So
one. I'll answer one last question. There's one question from La Sisi, and I think it's super important that I answer that question. What advice do I have for a young person with multi-potential? A multi-potentialite. Sometimes being a multi-potentialite can be a problem. I am also a multi-potentialite. As a matter of fact, I have 21 skills. Mhm. I have 21 skills, and many of them are high income skills. Copywriting is there, presentation is there, negotiation is there, communication is there. Even recently, I added OAP because now I host the biggest Twitter spaces in the Make Money Online space in Nigeria. So that one is also a skill. And which other one again? Guitar. Oh, I play guitar, by the way, and I also sing. There are so many skills in the skill set. High ticket closing, one-to-one. Dan, I think you need to mute your mic. High ticket closing, one-to-one closing, one-to-many closing, speaking to sell. How many of you know that even speaking to sell is a skill? Speaking to sell. If you come to my space, you know what I'm talking about. By speaking to sell, I've made at least $35,000 in the last 12 months alone, using Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces. Some people go to Twitter Spaces and they go and listen to it like it's MP3 and it's radio. People like us, we are cashing out because I know how to speak to sell. Now, I'm giving you these examples just to show you how much of a multi-potentialite that I am. But if there's one thing I learned in 2020 after struggling for 11 months in my business, is the fact that you can't do multiple things at the same time and expect to be able to see momentum in your growth. You can get results. Oh, there's no bottle here. I would have used bottle to give you an example here. But let's do this hypothetically. Imagine I had 3 cups in front of me and I had 1 bottle of water. That bottle of water signifies my time, energy, and my resources. The 3 cups signifies my potentials. In other words, I have 3 skills, or let's just say 4 cups, right? I have 4 cups in front of me. So I have 4 skills in front of me, or I have 4 things I'm doing in front of me, right? Now, my time, energy, and resources is 1 bottle, and that 1 bottle can only fill 1 cup. If I pour that water in 1, 2, 3, 4, I will not have any full cup, but I will have water in all the cups. So I'll be able to get results in every area because I have given them my time, I've given them my energy, I've given them my resources. But the moment I take all the water and put it in 1 cup, I have full potential. I have full potential. And that's the reason why, sometimes we have 4 things we are doing at the same time, but you're not making up to 50,000 naira a month. You are jack of all trades, but you're master of none. That's just the reason. As a multi-potentialite, how I harness my skills now is I use my skills I apply them in my business. That is if the potentials are skills. Now, where the potentials are not skills, where it is businesses, there is no reason why you should be driving four vehicles to the same destination. The reason why we are doing business is because we want financial freedom, is it not? It's because we want to make money. Why do you need to drive 4 vehicles to financial freedom? Why? Oh, God. Everything you need, everything you are looking for is in your lane. One lane. Find it. Find your lane, grow in your lane, expand in your lane. I found my lane in 2020, affiliate marketing. I grew in my lane. I grew that business. I hit momentum. I started expanding inside the lane, coaching, speaking, consulting in the same lane. I'm still in the lane even till today. Inside the lane, I grew to $10,000 a month. Inside the lane, I'm growing to $50,000 a month. So is it not interesting to see that what everybody is pursuing in so many different places at the same time? Do you know, once upon a time, I used to be the guy that would tell you, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You need to diversify your income. You have to have multiple streams of income. MSI WhatsApp group. MSI WhatsApp group admin. That was me. Also, I was chasing 4 different things at the same time, doing 4 things at the same time, but I wasn't making up to 50,000 naira a month. But by just focusing on one thing, see, if you can choose one of those vehicles, see, let me give you an assignment, right? Lasisi. Let me give you an assignment. All your potentials, all your businesses, all those things you are doing, put them on the table. Hypothetically speaking, put them on the table in front of you. Write them down. Piece of paper. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And pick one that is going to take you to financial freedom. It doesn't have to be as soon as possible. Just choose one. The rest of them will go into the passenger seat. The one you choose will now be in the driver's seat. Now, here's what you need to do. You will take that one and you will wake up every morning, and your only intention will be to become better at that one every day for 6 months. You will wake up and your intention will be to take one action with that one to improve upon it every day. And I tell you, if you do this, you will start getting results with that one. And that's the first step. When you start getting results, that's when you double down. You tweak what is not working, then you rinse and repeat what is working. As you keep doing this and you start doing it, tweak, rinse, repeat, tweak, rinse, repeat, tweak, rinse, repeat, you will start building momentum. When you start building momentum, that's when you become very attractive. Everybody will be looking for you. Everybody will want to be your friend. Everybody will be inviting you to come and speak. Everybody will be throwing money at you because you will be looking like a golden cow. At that point, you have arrived. You are now the overnight success to people. But in reality, you have only hit momentum. That's not where you get distracted. Too many people touch momentum and they start to sleep. They lose that momentum because they see momentum as the destination, whereas momentum is only a milestone. It's only a signal that you are ready to scale. Momentum is only a signal that you're ready to scale. The moment you get to momentum, that's when you need to multiply leverage. Write it down. That's when you need to multiply leverage. If it took you your time, energy, and resources to get to momentum, then you need to multiply that leverage by working with a team, by using tools, by using systems and automations. Start managing a team. Once you have hit momentum, you will definitely have enough money to work with a team by then. So you should get your team, your dream team of superstars who are going to take you to the next level. I just set up my team 2 months ago, and I'm putting out more content than I have ever put out since I became a content creator as a result of that. Leverage. Momentum. I hope I've answered the question anyways. I've spent a lot of time here. I have to be going now. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. My name is Kenny. By the way, you should follow me on social media. My name is Kenny Wokoye on all social media platforms. I'm most active on Twitter, so I'd love you to join my family on Twitter. I'll send you a special gift if you follow me on Twitter right now. I'll send you access to a course that will show you how I went from 500 followers to 50,000 followers on Twitter in less than 12 months. So if you want access to that, you can just follow me. That's all. Just follow me on Twitter. That's all. All right. Bye, guys.
I don't know. Okay. Okay, so if you can see and hear me, please say hi. Let me check. If you can see and hear me, please say hi so I can start. We spent a lot of time already. Okay. Hi everyone, good evening. So I was waiting for the host, but I'm excited, just the way you're excited. Kenny has done an amazing job. In fact, when you hear me speak, a lot of things I'm going to be saying today, I'm obviously going to be making reference to the things he has said because I know that he has given us enormous value, right? And my topic for today is life principles of getting results. I'm so sorry if you don't know me. My name is Naomi Omonwa, but you can call me Coach N. If you don't know me, I'm so sorry. It means I have not been marketing enough, so I'll start marketing. But if you know me, hi people, how you guys doing? So we're going to start right immediately, and I'm not going to take more than 30 minutes of your time while I'm speaking, right? Because I spent a lot of time already. So the first thing is I want to tell you guys 5 principles of getting results. Now, these are life principles that apply to any niche that you're in. It applies to you if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a 9 to 5, if you're a founder, whatever. They are life principles and they are very, very generic. So the first principle I'm going to be talking about is clarity of purpose. Clarity of purpose, yeah? And this principle has a lot to do with young people. Now, as young people, one of the things that we commonly do is we don't figure out ourselves early enough. You can be multi-talented and you still have clarity of your purpose. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was 16 years old, the purpose I was running with was different from when I was 18 years old. I think I knew Kenny when I was about 19 years old, and who I was then is not who I am now. What am I trying to say? Per time, your purpose might and can shift. The fact that you're a graphic designer now, it doesn't mean that in the next 10 years you will remain a graphic designer. So my point is, you don't have to figure out everything at once, but you have to figure out what you're doing immediately. If not, you will run a scattered race. You will run a confused race. If not, one morning, shockingly, you would wake up and you will see that you have wasted a lot of time doing absolutely nothing. You cannot account for the better part of your life. So you must have clarity of purpose. What are you doing presently? I'm not asking you what are you doing tomorrow. I'm asking you, what are you doing presently? Because when you clarify your purpose, your immediate purpose, it would help you know what you're doing in, to help you know your next steps. So it's possible that, like I heard Kenny say, just choose a vehicle. Yes, just choose something. Decide to do something. It's a life principle. Because if you don't decide to do something, you will not be able to get results in anything. People, I always tell people that hard work beats talent every single time. You can be a multi-talented person and be super broke. But the person who has barely any talent gets results. A lot of talented people, they are basked in the euphoria of I'm talented. It's not enough to be talented. Putting in the corresponding work is a huge part of it. So when you're clarifying your purpose, you don't have to figure out everything at once. Let me give you guys a quick backstory. I said I will not take more than 30 minutes. Last year, I was on holiday, summer holiday, and yeah, it was holiday, but I got the opportunity to speak at a global conference in Manchester. And then after the conference, people were talking and I was just talking. And somebody was like, "Oh, I've not seen you before, I've not heard of you. What's your name?" I said, "My name is Naomi Omonua. I'm an accountability coach." The person is like, "Accountability coach?" And I'm like, "Yeah." The person said, "Is there something more globally relatable?" I was confused. I almost took offense, but I said I'm an accountability coach. But when I went home, I asked myself, what is more globally relatable? What is it that I can say that relates to what I'm currently doing? That I can say that, oh, this is who I am, and everybody understands. I started checking what globally relevant skill can I adopt and imbibe into what I'm doing. And after a series of talking to people and all of that stuff, I decided, oh, project management is the closest thing to what I do. Guys, I started from scratch. I was already managing projects informally. I started from the most basic information about project management, and I grew. Somebody will say, oh, she's an accountability coach yesterday and she's a project manager today. People don't really know, but what they care about is the results you're getting. So bottom line is your purpose. You don't have to figure out everything out at once. It depends on what are you doing now. What are you willing to put in the work to get results now? The question is now, today, right now. If you're a graphic designer, you're a video editor, what are you willing to put in the work now? Tomorrow you can transition into something else. Tomorrow you can wake up to be something else and everybody will adapt. That's the thing. The world will always adapt. A few years ago, the hottest phone on the block was BlackBerry. In fact, I cried to my mommy that time. I told her, if I take second, you buy me BlackBerry. I worked hard, 2 seconds, she bought me BlackBerry. Now, I saw a BlackBerry phone yesterday, and I was like, what is this? Is this toy or something? Tells you that the world is constantly evolving. Everybody's adapting. Let me give another example. Don Jazzy, everybody knew him as a record label boss. But then, he woke up one day and he launched Jazzy Burger. Who would have thought that Don Jazzy would wake up and launch Jazzy Burger? People don't care about what you're doing. What they care about is the result you would get from it. They don't care. People don't care about process. I'm talking about the external people apart from yourself. So I said I'll not take time. I always take time in my session because of the stories I have to tell, but I'm not going to take time today. So we have a TED speaker coming up. The second life principle that you should adapt is continuous learning. Continuous learning. Latin calls it continua doctrina. Continua doctrina. It's one of the greatest life principles that any successful person will tell you. No matter the heights you see any human being, they are given to learning. As basic as this might sound, it's a life principle that you cannot ignore. The moment you get comfortable in your own knowledge, the moment you see yourself as something, you get comfortable by staying with what you know that you're in trouble. You are in trouble. I'm not joking. You are in trouble. The moment you relax, you are in trouble. If you want to get results in your life, you must give yourself to continuous learning. Because what you know today, somebody has added more tomorrow. What you know today is not enough. There's tomorrow. Even billionaires, you see them going for conferences. Apart from the fact of connecting with people and all of that stuff, they want to learn what is more. Hunger is that secret that propels results. Hunger is that inner secret that propels results. When I was talking to my mentees yesterday, and I was telling them about a mastermind that is $11,000 to join, and one of them was very bold enough to say, but you're always paying for these things. I told her, I said, you feel like I'm getting results now, but the result I will get in the next 1 year will shock you if you hear. Last year, I was doing 10K and 8K, 10K months. But now, I'm almost doubling on that. Why? Because I'm continuously learning. Now, there's no tailored approach to this. I cannot tell you, okay, pay for courses. Learning is diverse. It can be books, it can be people, it can be masterminds, it can be conferences, it can be a lot of things. But never stay comfortable. If you stay comfortable, you will be average. You wake up one day and discover that the people that you felt that you're mentoring, they have passed you and they have gotten 20x more of the results. You will not know. It happens, it creeps in. It creeps in. Anytime you notice that, oh, I'm not comfortable, know that there's something wrong. Hunger is the fuel that drives results. Healthy hunger. That feeling of always wanting to know. You must be a life student. You must not have you must not really have, like a mentor that's, okay, this person is my mentor for life. But you must be a life student. Life must continually teach you. Not even life must continually teach you. You must continually learn from life. It's the secret of most successful people. They are life students. You see me show up here now teaching you. I have a time where I go to learn. I tell my students, I call it refoiling. There's a time where I blank out and I'm learning. My phones are off and everything. You must not be like me. There are times where I had to spend 3 days blackout just to learn more things. You have to be knowledge driven. Ken was talking about the implementation part. Of course, you guys know, if you know me, you already know that's my specialty, implementation. But I'm talking about life principles now. If you don't learn anything, you don't have anything to implement. So with that, you must have a self-development plan for yourself. You must create a self-development plan. Some people, you see them say, I read 5 books monthly. Some people say, I register for 1 new course in my niche monthly. Some people say, I attend a conference monthly. It depends. It's tailored to different people. You must have one for yourself. What is your self-development pattern? Tell me you're not getting results. I will ask you, what is your self-development pattern? Are you running from Instagram to TikTok? Are you running from one celebrity to the other? Are you running from the people who are sharing this photo to the other? Those are distractions. People that are successful, they don't have time. Most of the time, most of the gist that I know is them say. I cannot go to this one space, and check if the gossip she's saying is true, or if this one I sharing that one. It is maybe people come around and say, this is what happened though. And I say, okay, this is what happened. And we talk about it. Being self-development driven does not mean that you are a nerd. It does not mean that you don't have anything to do with your life. It doesn't mean that you will not party. But you must be intentional about the knowledge that you gather if you want to get results for your life. I'm not even joking. Let me tell you something. Any single day, knowledge, I'll say applied knowledge will give you an edge. But let me remove the applied. Knowledge will always give you an edge. Knowledge will put you in front. Knowledge will make you the most preferred. If there are 10 people to be chosen, because of knowledge, you can be among the first 2. Or you can even be the only one that they choose. When people say no knowledge is a waste, they mean it. It's not just a mere saying that we took from our fathers. It's the truth. Knowledge gives you an edge. Knowledge makes you that star. Knowledge makes your face different from other people. Knowledge gives you one kind of glow. You must be someone who is on the move for knowledge. Yes, implementing, because you have to implement to get results, of course. But if you don't have knowledge, you don't have anything to implement. So if you want to implement to get results, you must have valuable knowledge. There is no time. I'm not joking. I remember when I was 19, Kenny was talking about something just now. He said I once paid him 3,000 naira for graphic design. I remember that day like yesterday, but it's been 3 years plus, 3 whole years, 36 whole months plus, even up to 40 months plus. I remember it like yesterday. There is no time. If all of you are adults here, remember your 18th birthday. I remember my 18th birthday. I was happy to be an adult. But now, see my age. See how old I am. One day, I was telling my mommy, are you sure? See my age and look at you. If they had told me that you look forward to this age, I would say, it's still far. But see it here. Very soon, somebody will be calling me mommy. Me like somebody's baby. Time is going. You don't have time. So you have to utilize it. I promise 30 minutes. I don't think that's possible. But let's go to I can't see the chart to see what you guys are saying, but I'll just go on. The third thing I want to talk about is adaptability. Adaptability. This is a very common issue with most young people. You do not move with the world. You wait for the whole world to move first before you move. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying do follow, but there's a pattern that this world system is moving that you notice. There was a time that text content, when you just post on Instagram, you see people liking your post. There's a time that video content, I think now video content is making waves. I think now it's going to shift again to something else. You must adapt to where the world is moving to. You must make trend adaptability. You must make it your friend. I'm someone that when something is raining, I don't like it. Like for example, I'm a girl now. When everybody was saying bone straight, even if I could afford it, I never thought about buying it because everybody was buying it. It was even recently I was even talking about my friend like finally you want to buy bone straight because like that face trend has passed. But as a human being in my personal life, but where the world is currently moving in my career or business life or my personal development life, I'm currently adapting to it. If Mark Zuckerberg closes Instagram now, for example, the next platform where all of us are moving there, some of you will wait until everybody's talking about it before you move. There is always what we call first mover's advantage. It is how you see that a lot of TikTok people who you feel like they don't mean anything, they're charging thousands to be TikTok influencers. Why? Because they had first mover's advantage. When TikTok came, they moved immediately with the world. Now the whole world is on TikTok. Almost everybody's on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok now, I promise you, very soon you will be on TikTok. It's inevitable because where the crowd is going, I mean the economic crowd, you must be there. There was a time that to go was the in thing. Who remembers to go here? Who remembers to go? Say hi. You used to have a username. My username was Naomi Baby. Naomi Baby 06. I mean something very weird. There was a time that to go was the in thing. There was a time that we'll go out and say, what's your BB pin? What's your BB pin? Everybody could cram their BB pin. But now, all those things have faded. The world has evolved. If you want to be a trailblazer, if you want to be a force, if you want to be relevant in this world, ever in your existence, you must know where the world is going to. Trend is not your enemy. Use trend to your own advantage. There's a part of trend that might make you disadvantaged, but there's a part that makes you advantaged. And you must choose what part of this coin you want to be. Do you want to be disadvantaged with trend, or do you want to be advantaged? It's a choice. It is your choice. The button is in your hands. What side of the coin do you want to be? It's inevitable. That's the funny thing. It's inevitable. If you decide not to move with trend, circumstances and situations will move you to trend. You don't have a choice. But only that you'll be among the backbenchers. You'll be among the backbenchers. You'll be among people in the back, at the back. When TikTok came out, I remember Nice, Ayok, those of you in the crypto space, you know Nice. There was something about open TikTok. I said, video content. I think that was the day after like 1 year or almost 2 years, I went to go open TikTok. And now I'm better why I did not start TikTok early, but it's not late, obviously. But I'm finding it hard to even adapt to their features and everything. You must adapt with trend if you want to be a world changer. I call most people world changers because I'm a world changer. I'm changing the world in my own little way, from talking to 2 people. Those 2 people talk to 10 people. Those 10 people talk to. That's how we're changing the world. If you want to be relevant in this system, you must be you must make trend your friend. You must adapt. Adaptability is a skill that you must have. So the 4th one I want to talk about is relationships and network. Relationship and networks. This one, they are life principles. You must build them. You cannot avoid it. I'm not even joking. Because the reason why is because everything that you need to grow in life is in the hands of people. Those you're learning from, they are people. Those that are paying you money, they are people. Those you want to teach, they are people. People. The world is built with people. Personally, I grew up as an only child. So when I got into the world and everything, I found it hard to mix with people. I found it hard to communicate with people. But I realized one day that you cannot do anything without people. Even if God wants to favor you as a man, he cannot come down from heaven and favor you. Guess what will he do? He would send people to you. So that if you want to be relevant, that idea of being an introvert, dead it. Do away with that idea. Most of us are introverts. If I go out, those of you that have ever seen me in any physical place, if you see me 1 second, if you turn your back, you might not see me again. I rather speak to you on phone than come physically. But it's inevitable for the job that I do. It's inevitable to meet people. That's what I'm telling you. You must be able to prioritize your networks and relationships. You must build with people. Let me give you 3 layers of this. In this aspect, there are 3 layers to this. Am I moving so fast? Do you guys understand? Let me check the charts. Are we understanding? Are we understanding? Please chat with me so I will know that you guys are hearing and I'm not speaking to myself. Because I can't. Okay, I can see the chat now. Okay, let's go on. There are 3 layers to this relationships and network, right? There's the high layer, there's the mid layer, and there's the lower layer. I'm going to explain all of this stuff to you. Let me start from the low layer. The low layer are people who are just, would I say, permit me for better use of word or language, people who you are better than or people who you are higher than. If you're in this space, you can call it your mentees or people who look up to you. Do you understand? Because wherever you are in life, there are people who look up to you. You feel like you're suffering. There are people who don't have data to come and watch me live. They look up to you. They envy you. Do you get me? Even if you do 200 MTN, 500 MB, there are people who look up to you to have that. So they are the lower layer. You must build your relationship across all these layers if you want to be successful, because they all have their roles. I would have loved to explain the roles of these people in depthly, but I'm just going to tell you the layers. Then there's the mid layer. The mid layer, they are your peer. People who are just like you, people who are on the same level as you are, people who are getting the same form of results as you are, people who are your mates. If it's class now, educational system, they call you your classmates. They're your life classmates. You must build relationships with them. And then there are people who are the top layer. There are people who are better than you. There are people who are doing much more results than you are. There are people who are doing absolutely 20x more than you. You cannot, if you build your relationship across only those who are doing better than you will be deficient. Because those who are doing better than you, they have a kind of character. They might not give you what you need. Sometimes the applause that we get are from people who we are doing better than. What we get from people who are higher than us is knowledge and leverage. So all of these 3 people are important. There are some things that you cannot tell. For example, there's some things that you cannot tell people who are higher than you or people who are lower than you. Only you can tell only people that are at the same level as you are. I have a friend who is a digital product creator. He used to have $4,000 a month and stuff like that, which is great. But there was a month that he just made barely $1,000. He made like, I think 300,000 in Naira for the whole of the month. He could not tell somebody who is doing better than because they might not understand him. He could not tell his mentors because they've taught him, they've given him the knowledge. Who could he speak to? People who are on the same level as he is. People who are his classmates. They will help you look at it and say, oh, how can we do better? They will not judge you because most of them have been there and done that. You cannot do life alone. Know this and know this today. Dear person that is saying they are introverted, you cannot do life alone. That's the truth. And let me tell you this thing. Life is a game and there are many players. We are all playing in the field of life. This is the field of life. We are all playing. There are goalkeepers, there are defenders, there are attackers, there are midfielders, there is people that they keep by the side. We all have different roles to play in life. Now, if you want to succeed with your relationships, don't wait for people to give you. Give them. Be the one to give. If you wait for them to give you, say, okay, when you give me, I will not give you back. You wait. Be the one to give people. Give before you decide to take. What did I say? Give before you decide to take. Normally, you guys know I like to break things down, but I'm thinking that you guys are understanding me. Do you understand me? Do you understand where I'm going to? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do not downplay anything I'm saying lightly, because these life principles, there are things that I did not know. It took me years of making mistakes to figure them out. And I'm even still working on them. I'm not perfect in all of these principles. There are many life principles. I just chose 5. I'm not perfect though. I have my own flaws. But we're in the process. Life is not about perfection. You can die trying to be perfect. But it's the effort that you're willing to do and the change you're willing to make to get that result, to be different people. I said already, establish all levels of relationships and stuff. Then the last thing I'd like to talk about is, or the last life principle is laser focus and concentration. Laser focus. I told you that knowledge will take you far. Now, I want to tell you something. In life, discipline will make you a person that people will see and they'll be shocked. They'll say, how did this person get here? Kenny was saying something about overnight success. That's what happens. The people say, she just blow once. No, the person did not blow once. The person has been doing a lot of background work. There's nothing like overnight success. Behind every overnight success is series of intense work, intense drilling. When I tell people how much I'm probably making now, when I maybe post one or two screenshots on my social media platform, I just put, they say, you're enjoying, just to work with you. Somebody paid you $1,000, which is like $850K now. They say, you're enjoying, I envy you. Don't envy me. Don't envy me. You are not there. You were not there when I was staying up at night. Forget all this big you are seeing. There are days where I look like I'm crazy because I'm trying to get results in something. There are days where it looks as if I don't even know what I'm doing because I'm trying to concentrate. I'm trying to get something. Discipline will take you far. As a human being, be disciplined. Across all levels. I'm not saying because when I say discipline now, people start thinking that I'm saying be stern. I'm not saying all in front of your face. Coach said I'm a disciplined person, so I want to be disciplined. Discipline does not mean frowning your face. Discipline is from the inside. Discipline now becomes who you are. When you say you are doing something, people know that you are doing something because they know that you are disciplined. They can bank on your word. You become bankable as a disciplined person. The entire the mother topic is laser focus. What you can laser focus on, if you can starve everything that is disturbing your life and focus on one particular thing, you get results. It's not negotiable. It doesn't have anything to do with spirituality. Life principles. Some experts say they are spiritual sides, but this one is, if you do it, if you are a Muslim and you do it, that's why you see that some people that they don't even believe in God, they are billionaires. Do you know why they are billionaires? They understand life principles. There are principles that govern this life. If you do them, you get results. It's inevitable. Why you now that is God's first daughter? God has given you resources, but no, you're just there. You're getting mediocre results. It's not because of God. God has given you everything that pertains to a good life. Before I start my preaching session, you guys, you also choose name of church for me now that I'll start preaching. It now depends on what you are focused on. What are you willing to give? I'm a very antisocial person. When people are going for parties and stuff, I don't really go because I'm trying to get results, actually. You must be willing to give something. There is always a sacrifice to pay. If you like watching K-drama, some days there's always that sacrifice. No K-drama today because I have to get this result. Don't be caught sleeping. You must concentrate. Concentrate. Your mind, your energy, your resources must be able to go into one channel to get results. You must be laser focused. If you are laser focused in one skill, just one skill, for the next 3 months, every day you choose to do something that contributes to that one skill, only one skill. You will come out in the next 3 months and people will tell you that she just blew once. Oh, she just landed a job that pays her $10,000 once. No, you gave something to get that result. You must give. You can't have everything. You must give something to get some certain form of results. Just like if you want to be closer to God, if you want to be closer to God as a person, you must spend time in the place of prayer and fellowship. Yes, you must give something. Your time must be going. Your energy must be going. Your money must be going. You cannot have it free. If you want to be an extraordinary person in your lifetime, people that your children will be saying, maybe like, I don't know who I'll call now. If your dad is popular, if you go in and say, I'm this person's child. Which popular person do I like now? Oh, I don't know. Okay, I like Messi Chiwo. I say I'm Messi Chiwo's child. Messi Chiwo is my mother. If you want to build that life for your children, or if you want to build that life where people will be proud to associate with you, you must do the underground work. You cannot escape the work. The work is implementation. You must do the work. You must have things. If you do the same thing that everybody is doing, all young people now are going to club, dancing, exposing their body. If you do the same thing, you will get the same results with them. You will never be extraordinary. It's not even a course. It's not a course. It's a life principle. If you do the same thing with what everybody is doing, you will never be distinguished from people. You will never be special. You will be like the multitude. But if you decide to do extraordinary, if you decide to do differently, you would be unrecognizable to everybody. The first time somebody invited me to talk in their live session, I say me. No, let me say the first time somebody invited me to speak, like physical meeting, I say me, I should hold mic and speak. Hey, I want to die. I say, me hold mic. But now, look at it now. You can call me today, this time, say, in the next 1 hour, I'll pay you $10,000. Come and speak. I will leave my house, drive all the way to go and speak. It takes time sometimes to get results. If you start doing overnight, if you start doing preparation now, and the next 1 week you say, Coach said we should do intense focus, and in the next 1 week you put in intense focus and you not get results. You say I'm giving up. If you give up, now you lose. It takes time sometimes. Results are a build up. Like just the way if you want to add weight now, they'll tell you that make smoothies, be adding pear. You cannot just wake up tomorrow morning and add that weight. No. But you can wake up in 1 month and you see that you have added 20 kg. You don't even know how you added the 20 kg. That is how results are. They are compiled. Sometimes your result is just boom. Somebody tell me that somebody had told me that while still being in school, I can make what people are making in a year in 2 weeks. I would say, how? My plan for my life was to get into school, be a doctor, get a job at a hospital that they're paying me like 300,000 and just have a successful life. But now, today, what my dream salary, I make it in a day or even less or even much more. Because why? I chose a path that not everybody chose. I chose to do things differently. I chose to focus on something. I chose to be laser focused. I chose to be single-eyed on something. I chose to do differently. I know what my mates were doing to get money as a young girl, obviously, fine young girl, you guys, but I chose to do differently. And you too can choose to map out your own life the way you want it to be. Everything is in your hand. In your hand. Every result you want to get is in your hand. I was telling somebody yesterday that I want to be a billionaire in the next 3 years. So I need to be, in fact, not even I want, I need to be a billionaire. How can I be a billionaire? Of course, he's a billionaire. I was asking him. I cannot ask somebody who's not a billionaire, how can I be a billionaire? And he was telling me some things. I said, I have a lot of work to do. I've crafted out a plan for my life. This is how I can be a billionaire. I just want the feeling of being a billionaire. I don't have any reason actually. I just want the feeling of being a billionaire. And don't worry, in the next 3 years now, you hear that, oh, she's a billionaire, and you say, oh, she was lucky. No, she wasn't lucky. She did what it took. She made the sacrifice. So, I tried. I just 5 minutes surpassed. I've given you 5 life principles. Please don't underplay anything I say. Take them very seriously, and you get results. It's undeniable. It's undisputable. You get results. So now I'm going to be taking questions before our third speaker comes up. Questions pertaining to what I've spoken about. Questions pertaining to what I've spoken about. Let me check the chat. If you have questions, please ask me now. Please ask me if you have questions. Ask me if you have questions, please, before we start buzzing the next speaker, because it's already 9 o'clock. Spent 2 hours already. But are you guys learning? Are you excited to be live and learning? Because I'm excited to be teaching you. But are you excited to be learning? Are you going to do differently after today? Are you promising me that when if I know all of you now, I would have called your names, but I don't. Are you promising me that when I check, if I can check in the next 5 months, that I can see extraordinary results, I can see a different person because of what they have decided to commit to themselves? Are you making a promise to me? I want to be in America tomorrow for a conference, and you woke up to me and say, oh, Coach N, that day that you spoke live, I decided to do XYZ, and look at where I am now. You have to take charge of your life. Don't wait for anybody. Nobody owes you anything. Take charge of your life and get them results. Simple. Nobody has any questions. Please the host. Hello, Dan. Or is it me that cannot see the questions? I don't think so. I would have been seeing it. Where is the host? Hello, Dan. I don't know what I can't hear.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just please signify. If you can hear me, just type on the comment section, just say I can hear you. Okay, so as we round up our section for today, unfortunately, because first of all, I would really want to apologize for how much time we have taken so far. Like, I believe you can agree with me. The two sections that we have heard so far has been really, really amazing. And like, to be honest, as much as I really wanted this to be within the time constraints of 2 hours, 30 minutes, and everything, but then like there's no way you can constrain value. And I believe you guys have gotten a lot of value from what has been said so far. So I won't want to take so much time. I just want to recap on a few things. But then before that, I'd love to use this opportunity to thank everyone that's stayed this far. Unfortunately, based on how much time has gone, we won't be having our next speaker coming in today. So we'll be rescheduling the next speaker section till tomorrow, or the next, like the time would be dropped on the way through. I believe everyone is available there. So the time that the next speaker will be coming on would be dropped on the way through. And just to make sure that you guys have absorbed every single thing that we have talked about today, like I'll just, before I give a recap, I'll just love to hear from one or two people, like maybe on the comment section, on what you feel, like one particular thing that you got that really stood out from tonight's section. One, just one thing, doesn't have to be so much. So I'm listening, you can type. So, Faith, Heritage, Frederick, Amy. At least let's be sure that tonight wasn't like wasted. So like tell me at least one thing that you have learned from tonight's section. Because if it's me, I've learned so much from tonight's section. Anyways, while we wait on that, our tomorrow's section is going to, today was just like the icing, or should I say like the teaser. Our tomorrow's section is going to be another heated one. So whatever you do, especially if you join for tonight's on very late, make sure you don't miss tomorrow's zone. And the last one, which would be our panelist section. The name of this conference was Beyond the Four Walls, as you have heard. So our panelist section would have some of the best undergraduates, some of the best graduates, some of the industry leading experts that are still students, or some of them just recently graduated. So they'll be teaching us how they managed to come so far, even while still at school. You'll get to ask these people questions. So if you have any questions that you want to ask these people, like you can forward it or drop it on the group chat, or drop it to the community manager, the team lead for the conference. So okay, so now since I'm not getting the comments yet, I believe like, I don't know if it's a network or something, but then I would want to assume that it's a network. So if you actually took time to jot things during this conference, if you actually took time to know things, I would want to play a game. Now, as you all know, like Sky, which is the company sponsoring this event, is literally our company, and I am the CEO of Sky. So like I would want to give one person an opportunity. Okay, before I go into the opportunity I want to give, Faith said one thing that stood out for me is to focus more on who you're becoming through your mind, skill, and knowledge. That's beautiful. I think that came from the first speaker. Okay, so Faith, I've noted your name. Don't worry, I have a gift for you, because I feel like you're the only one that's dropped a comment or that was listening thoroughly from the beginning to the end. Any other person? Any other person? Okay, so much has been learned. Okay, Chukwu said learning of not getting a scarcity mindset and implementing the expansive energies in my marketing. Diana said, yes, coach. Okay, that shows that most of you actually learned from this conference. The recording of this conference will be dropped on our YouTube channel, so you can always go back to rewatch it anytime you feel like. And so just to recap, we are really out of time. So just to recap, have the abundance mindsets. Make sure you don't have the fixed mindset. And how to make sure you're not having the fixed mindset is by not, when you're encountered with difficulties, or when you're encountered with new projects or this thing, you shouldn't come up with, you shouldn't say I can't do it, but then you should be saying what can I do to make this work. And I also learned the people who focus on who they are becoming, they are the ones who win rather than those who focus on what they can gain. Naomi said a lot on life principles, and she spoke about clarity of purpose, continuous learning, adaptability, lesser focus and concentration, and so much more. But because of time, I won't want to actually go so deep into what you have already gone through today, because I believe everyone will be able to get access to it on some of the things that you learned on the community. For those that were not able to attend this night section, feel free to share what you did learn. And also, I'll be giving, there's something I'll be giving. I don't want to announce it yet until the second or third section. That's tomorrow or the next. I'll be giving the most active person, the most active participants of this conference, whether through sharing what you learned or through referring people to the conference. But then our team will be watching out for the most active people. Actually, I wanted to make it just one person, but I'll make it like three. So we'll be giving the three most active people of this conference a promo. It might be a giveaway, it might be a discount, but then I won't want to reveal it now till our next section. So just know that, like, for whatever is going on, we are watching, and for everyone you refer, for everyone you bring in, and for every section that you've joined, we are, as much as this is a way of giving value, but then we want to even reward those that have actively followed us from this conference to the very end with a lot more, because we know those are the people that are truly intentional about their growth. So until we catch up tomorrow on our next section, good evening, everyone, once again, and have a beautiful evening. Have a beautiful night's rest. Thank you very much, and bye.